So one of the questions we get asked all the time is cash flow or appreciation, and which one should I focus on? So that's what we want to cover in this video. So let's get into that. What is cash flow? So cash flow refers to the amount of money you're left with after you account for all expenses relating to your rental property. So this would include stuff like your mortgage payments, your property tax, insurance, repair and maintenance, and your vacancy allowance. If you're planning to use property management, be sure to account for those costs as well, and these costs vary depending on your region or where you're located. One of the benefits of having a positive cash flowing property is cash flow allows you to survive the ups and downs of the market cycles. So if prices drop, you're not in a position where you're forced to sell, where it almost becomes irrelevant of what the market is doing. As long as you're cash flowing positive, you can continue to keep holding the property. Buying a property with greater appreciation potential often means that the property is located in a more desirable area. For example, this might be a property with great redevelopment potential where a single family house can be converted into a multi-family dwelling. So property has great potential, but it's just not redeveloped at this point. However, as a result of this future potential, land values are typically pretty high in redevelopment suitable type properties. So if you're an investor who's buying a property that's poised for future appreciation, expect to have a hit on the cash flow. Often these properties are cash flowing anywhere from $100 to upwards of a few $100, depending on location and type of property. The risk with buying something with greater appreciation potential is how much of a negative cash flow can you absorb if the market starts to go down or if rents start dropping as well. For example, if you have one property and you're cash flowing negative $300 a month, that's fine. Most people can usually survive that. However, if you have 10 properties that you bought with great appreciation potential and rents have dropped or market values have dropped, and now that's 10 properties that you're losing $300 on, that's something that not everybody will have the ability to float. So that's just something to be mindful of when you're buying something that's geared more towards the appreciation side of things. So what if you bought a cash flowing property? And this is a route we often recommend to a lot of newer investors who are just starting out. So for example, if you bought a property that's cash flowing, say $800 a month, the benefit of having a property with such a good cash flow is you're able to shield yourself from market changes a lot better. So say rents drop and interest rates go up and property values go down, and what's the worst that could happen? Maybe now your cash flow has dropped from $800 to $100. But the benefit is you can still keep that property and wait until the market recovers, interest rate environments are more favorable, and overall it just gives you more time to improve the return on your investment, whether that takes 1 year, 5 years, or 10 years, but it gives you that flexibility of having to wait it out. One thing to consider is with appreciation, it can often be dependent on market cycles as well. In the case of Calgary, the last few years that we had, so from 2021 or so till about 6 to 8 months ago in Calgary, we had a pretty good run up in prices. However, it's important to note that if you had purchased a property, for example, in 2015 with an appreciation play in mind, you would not have seen that appreciation till about 2021. So that's a 6-year wait for you to get your expected appreciation. And all this time, odds are that you have to just eat the negative cash flow. So that's something to keep in mind, that it's very much market cycle dependent. Now, your market might not be as cyclical as Calgary. However, it's just something to keep in mind. If you like this content, hit the subscribe button below and the notification bell to be notified of future videos. And also hit the like button below so that you can help us with the YouTube algorithm.
There you go. Perfect.